Good evening. Now, advancing in our series of quit smoking, today I am going to be talking to you about certain tips and tricks and how to quit smoking. We have already seen that the benefits of quitting can be very early and as early as 20 minutes after having smoked your last cigarette. And the risk of having a heart attack continuously drops as you stay away from cigarette for a longer period of time. In fact, if you quit smoking and stay smoke-free for at least 7 years, your risk of having a heart attack is as equal or as good as a non-smoker. Coming to certain tips of cessation of smoking, remember, a lot of us decide a date, and most often it is 1st of January. In fact, a lot of us decide Monday, some decide 1st of every month as a quitting date. But I think if you want to quit, quit today, quit now. That would be the best moment. Once you decide that you have to quit, then destroy all the cigarettes. And in fact, it is said that the best way to destroy your cigarette is by dipping them into the water, because no part of that cigarette is smokable. It is also said that every time you feel like smoking and you hold a cigarette in your hand, best is to divide it, cut it or split it into 2 parts and throw them out. You do this once, twice and thrice. It is possible that the 4th time you may not have to hold the cigarette in your hand. The next best tip is that you have to have a very strong determination, because let me tell you that most of the addiction is a physical dependence on the cigarette. There is some psychological connect, but that factor comes a little late. So in fact, if you can detach yourself from smoking for a good period of time, it is highly likely that psychologically you will be able to detach yourself from cigarette smoke forever. There are certain tips, like when you feel like smoking, best is to probably chew on to a clove or long. Cinnamon stick is another thing which you can keep in your pocket, and whenever you feel like smoking, you should chew the cinnamon stick. And when you decide to quit, let me tell you one thing very, very important, that you are not doing something very, very Herculean, because there are millions and millions of smokers who have quit very successfully and stayed free from smoking for a very long period of time. And this is because if you look at the cigarette smoking, there is no addiction potential of a cigarette smoke like some of the other addictive smoking agents like marijuana, like charas, ganja, etc., etc. In fact, it is said that if you decide to quit, it is best to invite your friends who have been smoking with you to help yourself, and you can help them to quit smoking. So it is best to do this activity collectively and together. You can make use of certain gums, but of course, mind you, there are certain nicotine gums which are available, but you are only switching from one form of nicotine to the other. Of course, it is less hazardous as compared to smoking, but you can make use of simple chewing gums. As I said, cinnamon stick. Stretch out your meals, which means that smokers tend to have a very short and a quick meal because they want to smoke at the end of their meal. Avoid drinking tea or coffee, which increases your urge of smoking. Have a steam bath, have a hot water bath or a very cold water bath, because these things will suppress your desire for smoking. Whenever you feel like smoking, it's best to quickly take a brisk walk of 150 meters or 250 meters. That will definitely take away the urge of smoking. If you join a gymnasium where you find that there are a lot of people concerned about their fitnesses, you will probably stick to your determination of non-smoking. You can look up for some support pages in the yellow pages that will help you to perform yogas collectively. Take a class together which will help you to stay away from smoking. Destroy all the hideouts of your cigarettes and make sure that you get rid of matchsticks, ashtrays and all those which actually precipitate your urge for smoking, especially eating sugary food, spicy food, alcohol. Avoid situations which invite you for cocktail parties. And I think these are certain easy tips and tricks which if you follow, I am very, very certain that you will be able to stay away from smoking. So wish you all the best. There will be few more tips and tricks which I will be giving you in the next lecture. With this, I sign off. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.